And I think we'll start now. Um, so welcome everybody to this session for The Quiet Place. And before we begin, I just want to explain some practical things. I've already explained it to a couple of you, but I'll repeat it. Now we've got a few more people. That I'm leading a session on a Tuesday evening and a Wednesday evening. And I've got a very bad back and I'm finding it a little bit too much. So what we're doing now is we're amalgamating the Tuesday evening and the Wednesday evening sessions into one, which will just be on Tuesday evening. So from next week onwards, there won't be a session on a Wednesday evening. But I wanted to come tonight. The message has got out to a lot of people. I wanted to come tonight still in case there was anybody who hadn't heard that and arrive, because I didn't want you to leave empty-handed. I wanted to still lead a meditation for those people that came tonight. So really big welcome to you. And Ollie, who's the Breathworks marketing person who's doing the background support, he's going to explain now where you're going to be able to find out information about next week's Tuesday evening session.
Yes, so hello everyone. So it should be pretty easy to find. I'm going to put the link out on the pages we've got on our website. So the Quiet Place page and the Mindful Self-Care for Troubling Times page. So the Zoom link will be on there. It's going to be on the Moodle course, so the online e-learning platform will be on the announcements. And I'll send an email out to everybody as well with the link. So unless you're using the link from an email from a previous week, I think you should be good. it should be quite clear. So those are all the places where it will be.
Will it be the same Zoom account as tonight or a different one?
There will be a different link, yeah, and it will be a different account.
Okay, yeah. So
and there'll also be, just now I remember, there'll also be a Facebook event set up. They'll have the link on that to it. So yeah.
Good. Okay, so yeah, don't use this address next week. That's the main thing to know. It's a different account. If you go to the Breathworks Facebook page, it's there as an event. The link will be there. When Ollie was talking about Moodle, that's the type of platform we're using for the Quiet Place. So that course that that resource that you've accessed, if you've come through there, that's just sitting on something called Moodle, and you can make announcements through that, so you'll get an alert with the details. So yeah, we really hope that you'll keep coming and meditating with me, but it will be on Tuesday evenings at 7 o'clock from next week onwards. And I ask your patience around that. It's in order for me to manage my own health and well-being. I was saying earlier that lockdown is in many ways fine for me, but I'm somebody who swims for my health and for my back, and I also get treatments from osteopaths, and none of that's been available, and I'm suffering as a consequence. So yeah, I beg your forgiveness that I'm not going to be doing the Wednesday night from next week. Okie dokie, but here we are. I am doing it tonight, and I'm very happy to be here with you, and it's another chance to meditate. So yes, I've lost track of how many weeks. I think we're in the 6th week of lockdown. And I know we're all having very different experiences of that. But I think the sense that I've had over the weeks is that what we can all really benefit from is calm and presence, that the mind can run away with itself into the future, or the what ifs, the worries. Many of us have got financial worries, as well as just living with the uncertainty. Some of you may be doing very, very demanding jobs. And if we can train ourselves, just keep on bringing the mind back and settling, call it back, settle, call it back, settle, that can be very nourishing, and it will also affect your nervous system. It will bring online the calming side of your nervous system. So if you're adrenalized, it's a very good way of settling. So we're going to do a body meditation with breathing. And the idea really is that we become very curious about the felt experience of breathing in the body. So not an idea, not a concept, but what's actually happening, and can we soften around our breathing? And then if we make that our what we call an object of awareness, then the idea is there's less kind of room in our awareness to get caught up with thinking. So we're allowing breathing and the body to occupy quite a big sort of space of our awareness, and then the thoughts, though you will still think, of course, minds are designed to think, that's what they do. So meditation isn't about stopping thinking, but the thoughts can be less dominant if we're allowing body awareness to come into the foreground. And this is a key skill in mindfulness training. And the only moment that we can actually live directly is the one that's happening right now. And so much of our distress in life is about the past or the future, but those are sort of mental constructs. And the only moment that we can experience is now. And the training is just to keep coming back to now and grounding and settling, letting the mind calm down. So we'll do a practice for maybe 15 minutes or so. Yeah. If you've never meditated before, that's completely fine. Just follow along to the best of your ability. If you're an old hand, then of course, likewise, follow along to the best of your ability. And you will think, that's important to say, if you find your mind is very active, try not to judge that. It's normal, but you can just notice that your thoughts have gone away from the meditation, and that moment of noticing is your moment of mindfulness, because then you have a choice. You notice you're thinking about whatever's coming next, you catch that, and then you can invite your awareness back into the embodied experience of breathing. And you might do that 100 times in the next 15 minutes, and that will be a successful meditation because it's training. That's important. That I like to think of meditation as being mind training. It's like we take our bodies to the gym when gyms are open for physical fitness, and likewise we can take our minds to the gym, as it were, doing meditation. So that's the key skill. And an image might be training a dog or a puppy. You know, it runs off and you call it back and it comes running back and it sits for a second or two and then it runs off again. You call it back, it sits, it runs off, you call it back, it sits, or it heals. And then eventually the dog is trained and the dog just quite happily walks along beside you. And we can do that with our own minds. So I'll stop talking now in terms of the introduction and we'll move on to the meditation. So the first thing is to choose how you want to position your body. You can do it sitting, you can do it lying, you can even do it standing. It doesn't matter. The main thing is that the body is as relaxed as possible and yet alert. Those are the two key principles. So I'm sitting here on my chair and you can join me with a sense of settling. So I'm allowing my weight to drop down into the points of contact between my bottom and the chair, my feet and the floor. Excuse me. And let's take some deeper breaths. And then on the out breath, really allowing our awareness to settle down through those points of contact between the body and the surface it's resting upon. And seeing if we can get a sense of gravity. So gravity is this invisible, mysterious force that's always holding us close to the earth. And when we're stressed, anxious, tense, we tend to pull away from gravity, which causes a lot of fatigue, extra tension. And a wonderful skill is to learn to live with gravity. So right now, let's practice giving the weight of the body up to the surface that it's resting upon. And can you allow the body to be fully supported? And seeing if we can allow the out breath to flow all the way out of the body. And then the in breath to flow into the body. The lovely saying, when in doubt, breathe out. Because very often when we're stressed, tense, anxious, We hold the breath, then we don't allow the out breath its full expression. And it's naturally calming. Just allow it out. And then the in-breath will take care of itself. It will flow into the body quite naturally. An image that I find really lovely is a wave on a beach. The in-breath is the wave flowing up the beach. It pauses, hovers, turns. The out-breath is the wave flowing back down the beach, rejoins the ocean, and then there's the gathering, and then the next wave of the in-breath flows up the beach. Excuse me. Just experience that for a few moments. So although we're using an image, if you find that helpful, make sure you're staying in touch with the felt, embodied experience of breathing. Let's see if we can allow the belly to participate in breathing. Swelling on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. No need to force or strain. We're just simply inviting our awareness to rest inside breathing, inside the belly. Feeling breathing in the chest, the ribs, the lungs. Swelling phase on the in-breath, subsiding phase on the out-breath. And feeling breathing in the back of the body. Let's come to the lower back first of all, and let's check the buttocks. Check that the buttocks are relaxed on the chair, the bed. And what's happening in the lower back as we breathe. Maybe the shape is changing a little bit on the in-breath and the out-breath. Maybe there's a broadening on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. Being curious about the felt experience of breathing in the lower back. The middle back. And the upper back. The back of the ribs, back of the lungs, the spine, the shoulder blades. Just resting awareness inside the movements and sensations of breathing in the upper back without altering the breath or forcing the breath. Looking for a restful quality, so awareness is resting inside the direct experience of breathing in the upper back. Back breathing is naturally calming. Let's broaden to be aware of the whole back of the body, the length from the very bottom to the very top, the breadth from the spine to the sides of the body. Maybe experiencing the whole back of the body like a very broad, open landscape. the rhythm of breathing in the whole back of the body. With any discomfort, any pain, any tension, allowing it to be soothed by the breathing. And during the day, if you're stressed, agitated, just dropping inside this experience of breathing in the back of the body can be really, really helpful. Bring online the parasympathetic nervous system, the calming side of the nervous system. Now let's be aware of the whole torso, the front, the back, the sides, the inside. And seeing if we can get a sense of the volume of the whole torso expanding in all directions on the in-breath, subsiding in all directions on the out-breath. This lovely rhythm, 360-degree breathing. So often we think of breathing just happening in the chest area, and that can get tense, agitated. But resting inside this deeply embodied experience of breathing in the whole torso can be calming, soothing, restful. Every time you notice your mind has wandered into thinking about something or other, then in the moment of noticing, you're having a magic moment of mindfulness. And that gives you choice. It gives you the opportunity to let go of the thought train and come back to rest your awareness inside breathing, inside the body. So we're not suppressing thinking, but neither are we getting carried away by thinking. We're simply noticing it, coming back inside breathing. Noticing, thinking, coming back inside breathing. And we do that again and again and again, and that is the training. Now allowing this rhythm to spill down through the hips into the lower limbs, the thighs and the knees and the lower legs, the feet, the toes. We've got this rhythm in the torso, and it's as if it's echoing down into the legs. So the legs are also soft. Beginning to experience the body as less solid and stuck, and more fluid and open, pliable. Feeling a sense of groundedness in the legs. Again, if we get very heady during the day, very, very active thinking that's disturbing, dropping our awareness down to the legs, that can help. Stabilizing. Now allowing our awareness to come to the shoulders and the arms. So in a similar way, we have the rhythm of the torso, this expanding, subsiding. And there's an echo that pours down through the arms, the shoulders and the arms. This echo of expanding, subsiding, expanding, subsiding in the arms, wrists, hands, fingers. Letting the fingers and the thumbs be really soft, resting in the present. So they're not reaching for the future or clinging onto the past, but they're resting in the here and now, soft and open. Coming into the neck and the head and the face. If we're sitting, letting the head be lightly poised on the neck. If we're lying down, giving the weight of the head up fully to the cushion or the pillow. And let's see if we can allow the jaw to be soft and a sense of openness at the back of the mouth. So the breath can flow freely through this area on the way into the body, on the way out of the body. Letting the face be soft. Very often we get quite blocked and tight in this area. It can be helpful just to feel what it's like to be soft here. And let's broaden our awareness to be aware of the whole body. Sense of wholeness. Breathing in the whole body. Resting in gravity. Using breathing in the body as a home base for the mind again and again and again. Being very careful not to judge yourself harshly if your mind keeps running away. This is really normal, it's what minds do. Remember that the practice, the training is simply to notice that and invite your awareness back inside breathing inside the body again and again. as we're near the end of the session, just noticing the effects of the practice, what's happened for you, forming an intention maybe to use this deep body awareness, deep breath awareness as a place to come back to when you're stressed, anxious, busy. Just dropping back, particularly in the back of the body, which is calming, and the lower half of the body, which is calming. And in your own time, beginning to move a little bit, opening your eyes if you want to. And let's have a go at moving the body without gripping the breath. So I'm moving my hands and keeping my breathing soft. I'm stretching. I'm allowing my breathing to follow the stretch. Obviously that's changing because I'm stretching. But that's what my body's wanting. But I'm not adding extra breath holding. Let's see if you can still rest in gravity. Still that sense of stability. And that brings this session to a close for today. And it will be available on the Breathworks YouTube channel if you want to watch it again another time. And remember that next week it'll be on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. And the web page that Ollie was referring to, if you go to the Breathworks website, which is breathworks-mindfulness.org.uk, and on the home page there's a banner at the top which has got a page with all the pandemic resources, and the Zoom account will be there, so it's very easy to find. So I really wish you all the very best. Have a good evening, and oh, got a message, that's nice. And go well, be well, and if you're working out there in the world to keep us safe, then deepest thanks to you, and stay well and safe.
Thank you.
Good, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.